lecture 7. In the lecture 7, we're talking about the themes that can be seen in the novel, or in the play, not novel, the play Betrayal in the City by Francis Imbuga. So we're looking at the role of the elites. And I say that the elites should help in the emancipation of a society. They should be the ones who should be guiding the society and should give information on what should be done. So as we continue to expand on that, we say that through Mosese, we also find that the elites are almost giving up on their government and even turning their backs to the ongoing ons on the state. This is seen in Mosese's words when asked why is he showing his back to Jere, and the askari, to which he answers, I have no front. However, we see him speaking out his mind against the oppression in the state, which leads to his imprisonment on trumped up charges. Mosese, in his trance or dream, agrees to participate in the play together with Jerry, another elite. It is evident that it is through their role in the play that they manage to bring order to the state of Kafira by ousting and killing the evil element in government in Mulili. Jasper and Elite is actively involved in ousting the oppressive regime. It is he who writes the controversial play through which they overthrow the government. It is in him still who shoots Mulili, the evil element, and hence hope for Kafira, as he says at the end of the play that I did it for Kafira, I did it for all of you people, can be seen on page 74. The next theme that can be seen evidently in the play Betrayal in the City is corruption. Corruption can clearly be seen in the play. So the government officials are corrupt through and through. The head of state, that is boss, puts Mulili, a cousin of his, in a senior government position so that he can inform him on every intricate detail in the government. The man is illiterate and a non-performer who is determined to amass wealth for himself. He is inconsiderate and will do anything to earn acres of farmland and cattle. Boss is corrupt. He practices nepotism and gives high government position to unqualified relatives who work as his spies. He also employs many expatriates in public universities at the expense of the local citizens. Boss has amassed so much wealth from the state through corrupt deals and kept millions in foreign bank accounts. Tumbo also fails to conduct a writing competition and instead chooses Jasper and pays him only a third of the money. He pockets the rest, claiming that it is for settling records straight. He does not read through the written play, and out of his inefficiency, it turns out to be an avenue for the prisoners to eliminate Mulili and expose Boss. He also intends to extend the entertainment committee's session in order to earn more sitting allowances. Jasper is a frustrated student who, like all the rest, has no hope of finding a job in Kafira, since most of them go to expatriates. He tells Tumbo that during the holiday, you will sit in the house and vegetate, since the state regards the youth as neither children nor adults, but fence sitters. Boss' intention is to use the expatriate as an opportunity to gain more foreign aid. There is tribalism. There's tribalism and nepotism within the government. While offering Mosese tea in the cell, Askari says, "Here, tea with milk, yet you don't even belong to my tribe. You need a tall relative to get anything these days." That can be seen clearly on page 27. Only those with relatives working in the government can survive in this state. While the entertainment committee meets, Nicodemo tries to find out about what they will make out of it. He asks what size of potato per hour. He is also interested in finding out how many days they would use. How many working days? Kabito suggests that they should meet every day until the visiting head of state arrives, and even after the visit. Government officials are corrupt. Each is thinking of how to amass wealth. Mulili is granted the milk tender because he is his boss' cousin. It is not given to those that qualified. Kabito is corrupt. He spends the whole night trying to bribe the tendering committee, yet he lost the tender. He says, I spent the whole of last night being nice to people. To get money in this state has doesn't have to be educated. One must have brains to this of unscrupulous ways of getting money. Tumbo tells Jasper, that is on page 50, you need a different kind of thing of this. So that shows how corrupt people are in Kafira, and that applies to all countries, almost all countries in Africa. So lack of truth and justice is another theme. There is an inherent fear of speaking the truth in the entire play, thus leading to miscarriage of justice. Those who have spoken the truth have not lived to see their tomorrow, but have been brutally exterminated like vermin. A case in point is Adika, a student leader who is shot dead to silence the students who are protesting about the influx of expatriate personnel into the country. A young man's life is so brutally brought to an abrupt end because he chooses to pursue the truth in order to attain justice for the greater good of Kapira State. The student's lecturer decides to speak the truth during the burial by telling the politicians off when they decide to place restrictions on the mourners. But because speaking one's mind is not a crime, they plant a drug, 1 kilogram of opium, in his car and get him imprisoned. This is a serious case of intolerance and miscarriage of justice. Doga and Nina are murdered in their own heart because they dare challenge one of Boss' closest advisors, Mulili, who is also his relative. They intend to carry out a simple shaving ceremony by the government by the graveside of their murdered son, but Mulili declared it a government property. When they seem not to notice his authority, he has then murdered just to approve who holds sway in this country. When Adika's murderer Chaga, he visits the grave to burn the body with petrol, he least expects Jasper to be guarding it. In the struggle that ensues, he gets killed and his body is dumped in the river by Jasper. A court of law should have ordered for a medical examination to determine the mental health of the young man prior to the killing. However, because Chagaga happens to be the sub-chief's brother, Jasper is locked up in prison. Mulili cannot tolerate an argument, even a logical one, from Kabito, with whom he holds a grudge. He misreports him to Boss, who orders his death. There is no way a truthful person like Kabito would survive in these circumstances. Boss' own wife, Mercedes, is locked up in a cell for protesting against her husband's immoral standing. He even blames Kabito for inciting the woman to defy him. Another theme is the misuse of power, that is bad governance and misrule. The ruling elite in Kafira is perpetuating cronyism, nepotism, corruption, and intimidation of opponent in order to cling to power. Mulili yields a lot of influence due to the fact that he is Boss' cousin. Kabito refers to him as an army dropout and a second-rate farmer. Ordinary people cannot carry out their normal ceremonies without government interference. Doga and Nina, two innocent bereaved citizens, cannot carry out a simple ceremony for their son. The government sends two soldiers, Jerry and Mulili, to bar them from doing so. They are even murdered as a result. Individuals are forced to take law into their hands since justice favors those connected to those in power. Jasper kills Chagaga in order to avenge the killing of his brother Adika. Chagaga happens to be the sub-chief's brother. Mulili says all small murders get arrested. Like Jasper, face the full brunt of the law, while big murderers like Mulili get away scot-free due to political patronage. The fact that Boss relies on the likes of Mulili, Tumbo, Kabito, and Nicodemo are to render good and sustainable opinion and advice to the government tells the extent of the rot in this system. Mulili is barely coherent, and there are a lot of inconsistencies in his utterances. He is a liar and a cheat, a fraud who any right-thinking leader should distance himself from. Tumbo, Kabito, and Nicodemo only think about their daily allowances and are determined to meet as long as it takes in order to reap as much. Tumbo's remarks at the end of the play puts what ails the state in plain terms. I am truly sorry, but I am not entirely to blame. I was trained but given the wrong job. That is can be seen on page 74. These remarks point an accusing finger at the appointing authority. The likes of Mulili should not be in government. So I think that is the end of lecture 7. So we'll see you again in lecture 8. Thank you and bye for now.